Tbilisi, the pearl of the Caucasus. Video and music made by Franco Tenelli. Duduk solo is performed by Vladimir Tushmanov. Tbilisi, formerly known as Tiflis, is the capital and the largest city of Georgia, lying on the banks of the Mtkvari River with a population of roughly 2 million inhabitants. Founded in the 5th century by the monarch of Georgia, ancient precursor kingdom of Iberia, Tbilisi has served with various intervals as Georgia's capital for more than 1,000 years. Under the Russian rule, the city was the seat of the Tsar's viceroy and has served from 1801 to 1917 as the imperial capital of the entire Caucasus, including Georgia's current neighbors. Located on the southeastern edge of Europe, Tbilisi's proximity to lucrative east-west trade routes often made the city a point of contention between various rival empires throughout history, and the city's location to the day ensures its position as an important transit route for global energy and trade projects. Tbilisi's varied history is reflected in its architecture, which is a mix of medieval, classical, and Soviet structures. Historically, Tbilisi has been home to people of diverse cultural, ethnic, and religious backgrounds, though it is overwhelmingly Eastern Orthodox Christian. Notable tourist destinations include cathedrals like Sameba and Sioni, classical Freedom Square and Rustaveli Avenue, medieval Narikala Fortress, Pseudo-Moorish Opera Theatre, and the Georgian National Museum. According to an old legend, the present-day territory of Tbilisi was covered by forests as late as 458. One widely accepted variant of the legend of Tbilisi's founding states that King Vakhtang Gorgasali of Georgia went hunting in the heavily wooded region with a falcon. The king's falcon allegedly caught or injured a pheasant during the hunt, after which both birds fell into a nearby hot spring and died from burns. King Vakhtang became so impressed with the hot springs that he decided to cut down the forest and build up a city on the location. The name Tbilisi derives from the old Georgian word Tbili, meaning warm. The name Tbili or Tbilisi, warm location, was therefore given to the city because of the area's numerous sulfuric hot springs that came out of the ground. Additionally, archaeological studies of the region have revealed that the territory of Tbilisi had at least some human presence as early as 4 millennia before Christ. King Daci Ujarmeli, who was the successor of Vakhtang Gorgasali, moved the capital from Tkheta to Tbilisi according to the will led by his father. It must be mentioned that Tbilisi was not the capital of the United Georgian State at the time and was only the capital of Eastern Georgia or Iberia. During his reign, King Daci was also responsible for finishing a construction of the fortress wall that lined the city's new boundaries. Beginning from the 6th century, Tbilisi started to grow at steady pace due to the region's favorable and strategic location, which placed the city along important trade and travel routes between Europe and Asia. In 1122, after heavy fighting with the Seljuks that involved at least 60,000 Georgians and up to 300,000 Turks, the troops of the kings of Georgia, David the Builder, entered Tbilisi. After the battles for Tbilisi concluded, David moved his residence from Kutaisi, western Georgia, to Tbilisi, making it the capital of the United Georgian State and thus inaugurating the Georgian Golden Age. From 12th to 13th centuries, Tbilisi became a dominant regional power with a thriving economy, with well-developed trade and skilled labor, and a well-established social system structure. By the end of the 12th century, the population of Tbilisi has reached 100,000 inhabitants. The city also became an important literary and cultural center not only for Georgia, but for the Eastern Orthodox world of the time. During Queen Tamara's reign, Shota Rustaveli worked in Tbilisi while writing his legendary epic poem, The Night of the Panther's Skin. This period is often referred as the Georgian Golden Age or the Georgian Renaissance. In 1801, after the Georgian kingdom of Kartli-Karheti joined the Russian Empire, Tbilisi became the center of Tbilisi gubernia. From the beginning of the 19th century, Tbilisi started to grow economically and politically. New buildings, mainly of European style, were erected throughout the town. New roads and railroads were built to connect Tbilisi to other important cities in Russia and other parts of Caucasus, such as Batumi, Poti, Baku, and Yerevan. By the 1850s, Tbilisi once again emerged as a major trade and cultural center. These likes of Ilya Chevchavadze, Yakov Gogebashvili, Alexandr Griboyedov, Nardos, Rafi, Gabriel Sundukyan, Hovannes Tumanyan, Agaki Tsereteli, Simon Zavarian, and many other statesmen, poets, and artists all found their home in Tbilisi. Tbilisi was visited on numerous occasions by and was the object of affection of Alexander Pushkin, Lev Tolstoy, Mikhail Lermontov, the Romanov family, and others. The Romanov family established that residence in Transcaucasia on Golovin Street, present-day Rustaveli Avenue. Throughout the century, the political, economic, and cultural role of Tbilisi, with its ethnic, confessional, and cultural diversity, was significant not only for Georgia, but for the whole Caucasus. Hence, Tbilisi took on a different look. It acquired different architectural monuments and the attributes of the international city, as well as its own urban folklore and language, and the specific Tbilisuri literally belonged to Tbilisi culture. Tbilisi was always a political center of the Georgian politics. Recently, the parliament was moved to Kutaisi, the ancient capital of Georgia. We have to know that Georgia is the only democracy in the region. The proof of that is Georgian elections 2012, when one party was replaced by another without violence. Interesting thing that the word Caucasian and Caucasus have the same roots. Caucasian race in English means white race, and allegedly white race derived from Caucasus. In 1775 treatise, The Natural Varieties of Mankind by Johann Friedrich Blumenbach proposed 5 major divisions: the Caucasoid race, Mongoloid race, Ethiopian race or Negroid race, American Indian race, and Malayan race. Johann Friedrich Blumenbach was a German physician, naturalist, and psychologist, and anthropologist. He was the one of the first to explore the study of mankind as an aspect of natural history. Like other monogenetics, such as Georges-Luc Leclerc and Comte de Buffon, Blumenbach held to the degenerative hypothesis of racial origins. Blumenbach claimed that Adam and Eve were Georgians, Caucasians, inhabitants of Asia, and that the other races came about by degeneration from environmental factors such as the sun and poor diet. Whether he was right or wrong, the recent excavations prove that the oldest European skeleton was found in Georgia. There is no doubt today that two words derived from Georgian language is the wine, which is in Georgian vino, and the medicine, which comes from Medea. So I welcome you to this great country, the cradle of European civilization.